Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mustard Saves, and with chilly weather finally upon those of us in the southern United States, we can finally start enjoying heating up the house with warm and cozy seasonal foods, and today I thought I'd share a few super easy and cozy meal ideas. Starting off strong with a recipe fail, my local produce stand had butternut squash on sale for $1.50 each, and I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to make the viral pumpkin pasta. But I ran into one big challenge that honestly was very avoidable and totally a user error, so I just wanted to share it with you guys anyway, so that way you can see what happened and know not to do what I did. Problem number one, if you're going to put whole peeled cloves of garlic onto the pan, I would suggest either wrapping them in foil with some olive oil or put them in the pan later, because like I'd seen a lot of people do that in their videos and I was like, that's a waste of time. I just threw the whole cloves just on the pan with everything else. And what happened is most of them burned. Like all of them had some char, but most of them had to be totally tossed out, and it was really sad because I'm a garlic girly and like I needed all that garlic in my soup. Which leads me directly into problem number two. Make sure you're giving your pan a mix about halfway through, because I didn't mix my vegetables at all, and when I thought they were fine, I pulled everything out. And then when I mixed them, I realized a lot of them had burned on the bottom, like where they were touching the pan. And it was too much to throw away. I was really hoping that when I put everything in the food processor that it would kind of just like work out and you couldn't tell, but I can tell you that it did not. The sauce stayed very chunky, and not only did I not make enough sauce, but I also accidentally overcooked my pasta, so we ended up with this like sad, gloopy, kind of dry pasta, and we definitely still ate it, but yeah, that was not our favorite meal of the week. So pro tip on recipes not being fails, just don't burn your stuff. To redeem myself with the pumpkin shenanigans, I picked up this beef roast when it was on sale. I decided to chuck it in my slow cooker with some onions and garlic, another butternut squash, potatoes and carrots, and I seasoned it all with a tablespoon of Italian seasoning and some of this Kinder steak seasoning that we're kind of not the biggest fan of. I got it 50% off through an Ibotta deal to try, and I don't know what's in it, but it doesn't really taste like much, so really I just threw it in there to use it up. I popped the lid on and left it on low for about 8 hours, and this was a much more enjoyable way of having pumpkin. I wouldn't recommend adding more than a splash of liquid though, because as you can see, the roast lets off quite a bit of it. As well as if you'd like your meat to be more tender and if you have the time, you could either put a quick sear on the roast before putting it in the pot, or put the meat in by itself for an hour or two on high, and then put your vegetables in and drop it to low for an additional 8 hours. If you do put everything in the pot all at once and cook it for a full 10 hours on low, you're going to find that your potatoes and definitely the pumpkin are going to be very, very soft. And if that's what you want to do, that'd be really delicious because you just pull everything out and have like a mashed vegetable thing to serve your roast over. But like, I don't know, today I just really wanted to keep my vegetables in cubes and like eat it with a spoon. I don't know, that was just the vibe for the day. And everything was really delicious, and as you can see, it made a lot of food. This is a large crock pot, and we ended up eating this for like 4 days. I have no regrets. It was really good. And then with all this pumpkin floating around, you know we have to make something sweet as well. So I mixed up a quick batch of pumpkin French toast. Basically, you're just going to take whatever basic French toast combo that you like and then add pumpkin to it. So mine was just eggs, milk, pumpkin, vanilla, and pumpkin pie spice. Or you can just use cinnamon if that's what you have. Then you're just going to take whatever bread you'd like and dip it into the batter. I ended up dipping multiple pieces and then just kind of slapping them on the side of the bowl to let the batter soak in without like having the bread fall apart. And when it comes to the frying part, I feel like French toast is like pancakes. The first round always comes out a little wonky, but by the second round, everything not only looks better, but you've also tasted your first ones and you've had the chance to tweak the flavor of the batter and have the rest of them be more to your liking. I served these with some boiled eggs just to add something savory and low effort, and this is probably going to be my go-to way of making French toast for a very long time because these were seriously super delicious. Moving away from pumpkin, but still in season, I picked up this 3-pound bag of apples on sale for $2.50, and I figured that was the perfect price to make some homemade spiced apple cider. Cider is really cheap to buy from the store, so I don't think you're necessarily saving money by making it yourself, but doing it this way does let you customize it to your household's tastes. My fiance absolutely loves having a warm beverage before bed, and one of his favorite treats is cinnamon tea made by boiling cinnamon sticks until the water turns like a deep red color. So I like to add extra cinnamon for him. And as an added bonus, if you leave the lid off, it acts like a simmer pot and makes your whole house smell amazing. This batch made about a half a gallon of cider, and we just kept it in a jar in the fridge, and it'll last you about a week. To wrap this video up and keep with the slow cooker theme, I found this clip of another pot roast. Here I tried making the viral Mississippi pot roast with what I already had in the house, starting with 1 onion at the bottom, then the roast, and then 1 packet of brown gravy mix, and some Italian seasoning because I didn't have a ranch seasoning packet, and then a generous helping of pepperoncinis and about half the jar of the juice, and then some carrots on top. About 10 hours later, my roast was fork tender and had let off a lot of juice just like in the other clip, but this time I decided to take the drippings and turn them into a quick little gravy to smother all the meat and mashed potatoes in. And just to have something green on the side, I picked through my veggie drawer and made a little salad and dressed it with some oil and the vinegar from the peppers to complement the roast. Overall, I'd rate this roast a solid 8 out of 10. If I made it again, I'd add more of the actual peppers. I liked how much juice I used, but without turning the drippings into gravy, I felt like a lot of the flavor got left behind in the pan. And you could just take those drippings and like pour it over all your food. I would put it in a bowl if you were going to do that, but turning it into a gravy does give it more like substance, and it just doesn't like scatter all over your plate. I also learned that using the pepper juice as a salad dressing makes one of the best salads I've had in a while. And having that little side salad with like the really like, I don't want to call it heavy, but with the really rich roast and mashed potato combo was just really nice. And so yeah, the pot roast on its own, 8 out of 10. The meal as a whole, 11 out of 10. We really enjoyed it. And yeah, that's everything that I had to share with y'all today. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and as always, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or just want to have a chat, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!